my wonderful bumblebees. It's Ethany. Welcome back to my channel. And today I am sharing with you my top 10 decks that were published by independent creators and publishers for 2024. I did not get to do this video last year, but I actually spent the time mulling over the decks because I've been sent so many amazing decks over the year, and it was very difficult for me to pick a top 10, but we're here. I have included tarot and oracle in this video, and as always, the links for where you can go and support the creators and artists and publishers will be in the description box below. This is in no particular order. I thought top 10 was hard enough. I'm not going to do a countdown. So we're going to swap over the camera, and these are the decks that I worked with this year. I guess the rules I was giving myself for the top 10 were decks that I've received in 2024 or that I didn't open until 2024. And decks that I worked with a lot in 2024. And basically ones that I was drawn to over and over and over again to work with and that I connected with and resonated with. That was pretty much the criteria. I have a huge box full of unopened decks as well that I haven't even looked at that have been sent to me throughout the year, but I just haven't had the time to dedicate to go through them. So this is the decks that are in my collection that I was able to work with this year that I really enjoyed from indie creators. And let's swap over the camera and go through the decks. I am really proud of the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot, and I normally don't put my own decks on these videos and on these lists, but it's been the first new one in a while, in a couple of years, and I'm really proud of the work that James and I did. So I had to put it on here. And the first edition is about to sell out. So it has been quite a journey getting the deck out, but I'm really, really proud of it. I'm really proud of the reception of everything, of the guidebook. Everyone's really loved the guidebook. That was a lot of time spent doing it in this mind map. And I have been working with it nonstop. I read every day with this. I always use this with clients. And my gratitude to James and everyone who has, had faith in this project and worked with this deck and shared reviews and shared it has been, I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. As with every production, there are lessons learned. As with every deck, there are things to tweak and change. But that is life, right? We're always learning. So still one of my favorite Eight of Swords of all time. But I'm really, really proud of this deck, and I love reading with it as much as I loved creating it. And it was a lot of work back and forth, many years. And James has just done such an amazing job. So I had to put the Cosmic Wisdom on here as a top indie deck for 2024. And I hope everyone who's been working with it is loving it as much as James and I do. The Tarot of Echoes by Anna Turian is on here. And everyone has got to be very, very happy about the fact that they can get an indie version of this, I think next year with US Game Systems, I believe. But I wanted to put this on the independent
of the year because I absolutely love this deck. Anna and I have known each other for a really long time through the tarot world and through her creations. And I know that she's been having a really, really difficult time with art theft, as many of us have. I mean, the amount of fighting I've had to do with Etsy and everything, it's so gross, especially as someone who is an independent creator. It's heartbreaking. So please make sure you go and support Anna's work and purchase her stuff from, you know, US Game Systems or whoever she is published with, or from her website. And don't support these disgusting people who rip everything off, because it's so heartbreaking on so many levels. And the amount of work that goes into all of these things cannot be understated. Like, it's a huge undertaking, and she's done such an amazing job. I am so thrilled that everyone is going to be able to experience this when it comes out in mass market, and I will absolutely be getting a mass market copy. Love this Ten of Wands. It does work beautifully, obviously, with the Oracle of Echoes, which I also have a copy of, an indie copy of that deck, and it's just beautiful. Oh, I love this budding heads. It's just, yeah. Anna deserves all the flowers, all the accolades. I love there's a person in this flame. It is a beautiful deck. I've shared this before, so I won't go through all of it, but it reads gorgeously. I popped this one back in order too, except I don't know where my queen... Oh, there she is. I popped this one back in order as well while I was watching TV. I kind of got halfway there through these decks when I was thinking, well, when I was planning on doing these videos, and then I ran out of steam. But yes, this key. The Tarot of Echoes by Anna Torian. Really looking forward to her mass market edition, but absolutely on the indie top for 2024. The Chromatic Fates Tarot I picked up at the Northwest Tarot Symposium this year. And the only thing I wish is that I had a second copy because this is an independent deck, and I'm so about using it. I missed this on Kickstarter, so the fact that I was able to get a copy when I did meet Stephanie at Newt's was pretty spectacular. I don't know if there's any left, but this is the Color Tarot Project. This is a collaborative deck. But what I love about this collaborative deck is that there is quite a lot of cohesion here. So when you read with it, it doesn't actually feel as though there's too many, like there's 78 points of view that fight for a vision. They all work together, and I love this color palette, this fan that you get of all these different shades when you're looking at the deck. This is another one that hasn't been out in my working space yet. This is another spring deck that I want to have come out and work with when the wheel begins to turn. And I mean, the colors are everything, so that it could be a winter deck, but for me, it feels very much like this spring position, this spring space. It is so beautiful. It reads really, really well as well. So it didn't come with a guidebook. I can't remember if there even is one. I don't know. I'd have to look. I can't even remember from the first time maybe there is. Maybe there is and I put it somewhere. But the deck is beautiful. So as much as I haven't worked with it yet, I know I'm going to. It has been one I think about all the time, and that's why it's on this list. And it supports a number. It supports just like a number of artists, and yes, as you can see, it is fantasy-esque. But as someone who plays a lot of video games and reads a lot of fantasy, I'm not mad about it, you know? So that actually makes me, beautiful. Look at that Page of Swords. Absolutely stunning. So that's the Chromatic Fates. I don't know if there's any copies left of this deck, but if you love it and can afford to get a copy before it goes out of print, then yeah, I would recommend it if it's something that you really adore. But yeah, definitely a top of 2024. I found the little guidebook. I knew it had a guidebook, so it does have the little guidebook here. Okay, so, and it tells you who did the artwork and everything. So there you go. It was in the bottom of the box. I love everything Celia does with a passion. I hope one day, if I ever get to go to France, we meet, because I have all of her decks and I love them all. This Pooh Tarot has been on my list of decks to get for years, and I was so happy to get the deck when it came. And my friend bought me the Lenormand for Christmas. So it comes in French and English, and I just love this deck. I love ghosties. You know, coming from someone who grew up being able to sense and see spirit, being able to work with them in this way has been really adorable. And it's such a fun deck. It's really great for the Halloween season. It came out in September and October. I was using it a lot, and I just adore reading with it. It's very fun but well done. The artwork is gorgeous. It is such a pleasure to work with. I love spooky. I will do cute spooky. I will do weird spooky. I will do scary spooky. I love ooky spooky. And then all of the major arcana have the glitter on the ghosts. So anything ooky spooky for me is just amazing. And so I just loved working with this deck and reading with it, and a lot of people really loved it. Great for the Halloween season, great for mediumship readings if you have someone who's kind of afraid of, you know, spirits in their house. Deep and gorgeous and really well done. Everything that Celia does is well done, and so glad I've got it. So cute. So glad it's in my collection, and so glad that I've been able to work with it this year. So that's the Pooh Tarot. This is another artist I am a huge fan of. This is the Threads of Feminine Wisdom by Fiona Laura. And what's sad is that this is the last deck that I'm saying her name wrong, Fiona is doing. I don't know if that's forever, but for at least a good long while. I have all of her decks. I love them, and this did come a little later in the year, but it has been one that I have instantly had a connection with. And as I mentioned, if you've watched the mass market video, I've had more connection with the Oracle decks from independent creators this year than I did with mass market, and this is one of them. And it's different. And her folk style is something I love. I love that these are like tapestries and tableaus, but they are also these runes. And it is a feminine deck. You know, I know that the runes are connected to gods and goddesses. I am aware of that, but I also love that it is a feminine deck. I also was gifted the runes with this, so I was very, very lucky, very blessed. Oh, that's upside down. So a beautiful way to work with these runes because it gives you a color palette. There's the animal, there's the tree, a keyword, a feminine goddess or spirit from the Norse pantheon or the Nordic area. And it's just gorgeous. So absolutely one of the best oracle decks of the year, which is the Weird Weavings. And if there's anything in her store that you like, I go grab it while you still can because it's going to be all gone for good soon. Next up is the Slow Tarot, and talk about slow. Oh, funny. I was slow on the uptake because this came out in 2019. And I just started working with it this year. This is by Lacey Bryant. This is a first edition. This is, I think there might still be some left. Oh, this is my little certificate of authenticity. I don't know how many of these were created, so I can't tell you off the top of my head, but we have a little guidebook. Yeah. And Drew Clark got me onto this deck. Okay. I've been working with this a lot, so they're going to be all over the place, and I'm really sorry about that. I have been working with this deck a lot. This has been, since it arrived, this deck has been in my working space. So lots of clients this year have had readings with this deck. I love the spiders. I'm not a fan of them, but I love the artwork is, oh my gosh, is so beautiful. Really detailed. These gorgeous paintings. And I love the linen finish because it does make me feel as though I'm looking at these paintings in a beautiful gallery, and I would love to see big versions of this, like the originals. And again, I'm sorry that some of these are going to be upside down because this has been a heavily worked deck this year. But I had to, so the aces are full images. That's what I'm looking for. So that's the Ace of Cups and that's the Ace of Pentacles. So there's no border on there, which is really interesting. I love that it's like a magpie oracle here. But I can say from working with this deck with clients, it reads spectacularly. Like I love this house. It reminds me of the Practical Magic house, this little tiny elephant here. There's a marble, there's a kitty cat. There's so much in these cards. And it is a exquisite deck. It feels dreamy, but it feels, real at the same time. There are some really intense cards in here, art-wise, so that's something to be aware of, but that's life. The tarot for me is meant to be this living book of life. It has not left my reading space, and clients have been loving it. So, I love that King of Swords. Beautiful deck. The Slow Tarot, the Cups. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And one that I think I'm going to be continuing to work with into 2025. Next is the Mythos Tarot by Asphodylon. I should know how to say that, and I do because it's part of the Greek anyway. So, core reach for the narcissist, unaware that her life is about to change forever. So this is what you get for the guidebook. It's very, very basic, but the artwork is so beautiful. So beautiful. This was created last year, but I just got this first edition this year. I purchased this via the website, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to try website. And it is beautiful. I have been looking and waiting for a Greek mythology deck to speak to me the way that this deck speaks to me. And it's bright and beautiful. And I know it is a little, I guess, like cartoony, but I actually really love that about this deck. It is stunning. Another deck I wish I had a backup copy for, which I don't. This was with like a lot of independent decks, a bit of an investment. But I would probably get one. So Athena. I haven't shared this with you because it has been a little neglected because again, the time this year, but also I just wanted to spend some time with it, and I didn't really get a chance to until recently. But as someone who has my matron goddess is Athena and my patron god is Poseidon, this is something that I have been waiting for, and I'm so happy. And look, the minor is fully illustrated. So I am thrilled. Oh, the Dryads. I'm thrilled with this deck. I love Greek mythology, Pandora. And, I know that the mythologies aren't perfect, and, there's retellings and all sorts of stuff, but I adore this deck, and I know I'm going to be working with it a lot, especially for myself, having that connection to the divine through my chosen or claimed, or however you want to say you work with the deity. Got to keep pushing the boulder. Icarus, Heracles, I think. Yeah, the Furies, Jason probably. I'd have to go through and Trojan Horse. The Golden Fleece. I'd have to go through the Oracle of Delphi and see if I'm right with a lot of these, because I'm just assuming Nike. But I do know a lot of that's Heracles. A lot of my myths, Atlas. I would say that she's an Amazon. Pegasus. Whoops. Isn't it gorgeous? And I wanted to do a full flip through because I haven't shown you this at all this year. So the three brothers, Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. King Midas. So I'm really Arachne. Really, really happy that I have this. And as I said, I'm probably going to get Nike. We're going to get a second copy of this deck so that I can, I mean, of course, Cerberus, work with it and not be worried about damaging it. But this is the Mythos Tarot, not to be confused with the Mythos Tarot from Rockpool Publishing. This is by Asphodelion. Butchering names. Ethany butchering names for 10 years on the internet. And well worth the investment if this is your zhuzh. This is definitely my favorite 78 tarot deck because it's Halloween. My box got banged up, but that's because I live a million miles away and it just kind of got fucked up in the mail. I don't care. I'm not getting rid of it. So, ha 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 ha. The box, it's fine. I have the big edition and the small edition of this deck, and I brought it out for Halloween this year. And I still have the beautiful stands that came with the decks. And I have the Oracle. And again, if I wasn't trying to just keep this at 10, I would have brought the Oracle out as well. But I'm trying to keep it at 10. The big one is perfect to have for readings if you don't mind big decks because of the artwork. The small one is wonderful for on the go. And I purchased little tins to put some of my smaller decks in. So as an extra layer of protection. There is not enough that I can say about the artwork in these decks because of the fact that they are all real art and they are all living, breathing, beautiful artists. And some of my favorite artists are in here that we know very well. Like we all know Elizabeth Alba in the industry. Her, which is familiar, would have been another deck I would have put in here as well in the mass market. That was a fantastic deck that came out this year. And this supports just so many people. The way that I loved working with this deck around Halloween was I would bring out the tarot deck, and I would bring out the Oracle deck, and I would pick one from each, and I would work on when I was doing general readings for like Halloween parties. That's how I worked with it. I also love using this as a central theme, like picking out a card from here and then working with another Halloween Rider-Waite-Smith-esque deck to build the spread around it. I don't mind doing readings with this deck together, even though it is a collaborative deck, and the styles can be very different because it is Halloween themed. And it kind of reminds me when you go trick-or-treating and you see just lots of different people in different costumes, right? So I really, 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 really enjoyed working with this. And it's so luxe, that beautiful petal finish. Everything is done so, so well. And it's hard to do this well. Oh my God, these little spirits. It's hard to do these well because everything is getting so expensive. Just love her. As a creator, I understand this. And we're still trying. We're out here trying. So as you can see, I've worked with it a lot because a lot of these are upside down. I have the book as well. It comes with a book, but you can also just get the digital book. But please, again, if you're going to purchase these decks, they're all limited edition, so they don't depreciate in value. But please support the artists who worked so, so very hard on this, and don't buy them from this. Look at her, Selena, you are a genius. From the shitty websites like Temu and all that, because it's all just stolen. So, but this is gorgeous. So this is the 78 tarot, Halloween, tarot of Trick or Treat, and yeah, I've loved this deck so very much. One of the most surprising, incredible finds for me this year in the world of Oracle has been the MicroCosmic Oracle by Julia Y, and it's a 60-card astrological oracle and guidebook, and I showed this to you all in the Newts video. But what a knockout of a deck. We loved it so much in this house. We got shirts and everything, like, it's just like so much stuff. This is just honestly such a great study in astrology. And Julia has put so much into this guidebook. You will just enjoy the shit out of reading it. A really fun way to work with your inner planets. I mentioned this in the video, the Newts video, of a visual representation of your inner planets. The backs are gorgeous. The sides are gorgeous. Everything is gorgeous. Yet another one I wish I had a backup deck for. And again, it's all up and down. Okay, so this is such a, as I mentioned, a really amazing way to work with your astrology. And these are 3D images. So all of these strings are actually put on the image, like they're all shadow boxes. And I got to see some of them, and they are really beautiful. I don't know how many, one of my favorites, Mercury and Cancer, the octopus. I don't know how many copies of this are left, but if you had been waiting to see what everyone's favorites of the year were before you you put something, you purchase something, I would highly recommend this one. Again, an independent creator who has done all the work. It's not AI. It's these gorgeous pieces of work. We have shirts here. We have stickers. We got a lot of stuff from this incredible creator. And I don't know if I can gush any more about this incredible deck. One of my favorites of 2024. And as someone who, this is me, my moon is in Pisces, as someone who has more decks than I can shake a stick at, and who I guess has seen pretty much nearly everything, this was a total wonder, surprise. I love coming across something like this because I'm like, it's something I haven't seen before. It's executed beautifully. It's done thoughtfully, very thoughtfully. And it has such a deep resonance with the way that I like to work. I'm a very visual person, and it's just packed full of information. So, and this is me again, Sun in Gemini. I can't say enough. My Mars is also in Gemini about this deck. Incredible. Cannot recommend it enough, honestly. And if you're looking at incorporating any of your astrology work, this is, I'd say this is a supplement that you absolutely have to have. So that's the MicroCosmic Oracle. Yes, it is an investment, but it is totally worth it, by Julia Y. Hey, the Wisdom of Pooh Tarot. This is the Christopher Robin box set. I have done an unboxing of this whole collection, but it all sits in the same same box. So I want to get these two little babies out. I think there still are copies of the Wisdom of Pooh Christopher Robin. I don't actually know, but both are beautiful, and it's just the perfect deck for working with your inner child. I love that there's the tinned version and the standard. I'm going to show you the standard because the tinned version can be such a great way to travel with this, to do your inner child work. And it has a prayer and a blessing, and then it has the certificate of authenticity, and then you've got some meanings. The backs are gorgeous, just gorgeous. And the artwork is so beautiful. Now, there's been a couple more that have come out, I've noticed, but I think this is done the best. The production value is fantastic. This is the gold version. And yeah, it's such an inner child deck. I grew up not with these images like the classic, but I grew up on the animated Winnie the Pooh, and so Tigger has always been my absolute favorite. But I know a lot of people that I have read for and that I know and that are in the community have these versions, these classic versions of Pooh in their mind and in their memories. So this has been something I know a lot of people have really loved. It reads really, really well. And for me, it would be the inner child deck that I would work with the most. And yeah, it's just so beautifully done. Kat's done such a great job. The guidebook is beautiful, very in-depth, and it's just a wonderful deck to get into contact with your inner child, healing your inner child, listening to your inner child, and giving some of that love, right? Like a bit of Rue, giving the inner child some chocolate pentacles and healing that. So this is a limited edition of The Wisdom of Pooh. I don't know if there are any left or if there's any tinned copies left, but if you've been thinking about it from the perspective of some inner child work, I would highly recommend it.
So what do you think? Did you enjoy my selection? Were any of them on your top 10 list? If they were, if you've been working with any of them, let me know. The comments really help my channel. And if you have done a video like this, please drop it in the comments as well so I can go and watch it. Favorite videos are some of these at the end of the year, so I love to binge them over a good cup of tea. So let me know if you've done them, and I will see you all next time.